Good morning. It's Friday. It's the 5th of June, 2026. And great news in Bolivia. They've finally got rid of their socialist government that's been in power for 20 years and destroyed a beautiful country. Anybody who knows anything about Bolivia, it's an amazing country. And the people are amazing. But they got left behind by socialism. They got destroyed by socialism. But those days are over. And for those people who are not really aware, Bolivia is South America. It's part of the agenda to make America great again. And the man that's been put in power, Rodrigo Paz, is very, very closely linked to Donald Trump. He's very pro-Donald Trump. He thinks the same way as Donald Trump. And he will make Bolivia great again, which makes America great again, because there are many countries that make up America. And one by one, they'll become great. And in the end, America will become great as a whole in the very near future. But it does take time. It takes time to build greatness. I've often said in my own life that it takes years to gain respect, but it takes seconds to lose it. And it's taking time to build up the greatness of America again, because it's been run by imbeciles for many years. And you can say, well, I like them. Well, we all like imbeciles every now and then in our life, but we don't want them in office. Otherwise, they destroy the country. None more so than what you see in California when you let an imbecile run that, and what's happening in New York. Many, many places across America have been destroyed by imbeciles. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Well, the BBC has apologised after Nigel Farage was repeatedly misquoted during a Newsnight broadcast. Farage said the public should feel pure cold rage over the Henry Noack case. However, the BBC presenter repeatedly stated he had said white cold rage, adding a racial element that was never in the original remarks. They got caught, Charlie. They're not sorry for being sorry. They're sorry for being caught.
You're absolutely bang on right. And the BBC have a track record for this. They changed Trump's speech to make it something it wasn't. And they changed Nigel Farage's speech. And the problem is, and we've known this for years, and one of the biggest culprits of fake news was a paper in the UK called The Sun. Very sensationalist. Put on the front page a story, and then when they get caught 4 or 5 days later, a little apology on page 76 in the bottom corner under deaths and marriages. This is how they are. And yet the sensationalist it's out there, and they create a narrative. The apology does little because the damage is done. And this is what people forget. The damage has been done by the BBC. And this is why I will go out there as far to say as the BBC should be disbanded. When you consistently lie, having been regarded as the world's authority on news, but you consistently lie and you lie and you lie, those days for you in broadcasting should be over, because you can't be trusted. There are people out there that can be trusted, but you're not one of them, because you're run by a bunch of liars. And the problem is you rebrand it. You go, well, we didn't lie, we misspoke. We made a mistake. The mistake was you got caught. Had you have not got caught, you would never have apologized. Not off your own back. You apologize because you get caught. And Drew and I had this conversation earlier. As a child, when a child says sorry, are you sorry because of what you did? Or are you sorry because you got caught? Most of us know we were sorry because we got caught. And with these people, they got caught. My next story is fascinating because Donald Trump, very cleverly, is setting up the deep state. He's promoting Todd Blanche as the Attorney General. This is all part of, don't point the finger, put them in the spotlight. Just watch what happens. This is how clever he is. And of course, the deep state are over the moon. We've got our man. We've got our man. You've got your man, but your man's going to be in the spotlight. The world is going to see what Todd Blanche is all about. And suddenly they realize when this person gets into office that they've got nowhere to hide because the spotlight is shining on them. It's a fascinating time to be alive. This is all part of the movie, all part of the pantomime. Don't miss it. It's great fun. Drew.
Next up, Apple has agreed for Israel to manufacture the next iPhone. Apple already has significant engineering and chip design operations in Israel, which have contributed to technologies used in Apple products. Charlie, are you concerned?
When you look at it, Israel were responsible for putting something inside pages that caused them to explode when requested. So I certainly won't be lining up for the next Apple iPhone early if it's made in Israel, because they've got a track record, as we just talked about. When somebody has a track record for doing something, you'd have to go, well, I think I'll avoid that one right now. Very interestingly, I was in the Apple store the other day, and in my drawer while cleaning out, spring cleaning, I found 2 Apple iPhone 4s. And I started them up, and they worked. But I couldn't get them to work properly, so I took them to Apple. And I said to them, look, I need to update these. They went, no, you can't. Anything before iPhone 11 cannot be updated. I said, well, why? I paid for it. It's mine. Yeah, but we don't update them, so you can't use them anymore. You have to get the newer one. That's control. That's control. And if you allow these people to control you, they'll make iPhones in Israel, but they won't blow you up next year or the year after. They'll wait their time until the current iPhones don't work anymore. They've always played the long game. So be careful, be aware, be awake. We're just watching the court cases that are going on at the moment that nobody's talking about in mainstream media. It's being hidden from mainstream media. And there's one of the specialist witnesses that's testifying in a court, and the judge turned around and said, you're citing cases that don't exist. You're relying on evidence that doesn't exist. And they got that information from AI.
You wrote this.
Yes, so if
You wrote this.
I wrote this.
You're responsible for it.
I'm responsible for this and the reply.
You're citing principles that don't exist. This is a wholesale creation of cases. And I'm concerned that you're citing cases that don't exist. That's a big concern. This is not me pulling one case out of a string site.
Right.
Okay? I understand you might not, you should be, you might not have read every single case in a string site. These are, you're suggesting the Court of Appeals said things they didn't say.
Okay, if I again, I mean, I would have to review my papers. I think with Zhu, I think that was an appellate decision that actually wasn't a Court of Appeals decision that I was mistaken about. Again, like I said, I was really focused on the cases.
Some of the fabricated quotations used to support your primary argument are contrary to actual law. Actually contrary to what the law states on your primary arguments. These are not minor side issues. These are issues that you offer, that you put before this court to support your primary arguments. It is concerning, and we're bringing this to your attention so that you may explain, if possible, how this occurred?
The only thing I could think of is just me over relying on other briefs. And
You saw that these cases were, when you read your adversary's brief, do you actually check the cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
How come you didn't bring it to our attention?
So with this particular scenario, I was more focused on the specifics concerning.
He was raising, he referenced Court of Appeals standard that doesn't exist.
With that principle of law, that's
Counsel, I'm going to give you a chance to make your argument.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to give you every opportunity to make your argument. But I'm befuddled. I honestly am. I'm absolutely, and I'm not here to, lawyers make mistakes. It's not an easy profession. I don't want to sit here beating up on lawyers, but we rely on the bar so much in what we do. So the first thing that I did, I don't want to speak for my colleagues, but after seeing what he wrote, when I went to your papers, I expected to see something referencing. Not just, it wasn't one case, counsel, it was several cases. And you didn't see fit to bring it to our attention either. It's just striking to me. I'll let you make your argument.
It doesn't exist. AI created it. So they're using cases that don't exist to justify what they did. And this is the danger of AI. That if a lawyer is relying on AI in a court case and the judge is smart enough and says, hang on, that case doesn't even exist. So be careful. As I've said many, many times, common sense is not very common anymore. It's time to get back to common sense. Don't depend on AI. God doesn't reply as quickly as Claude all the time, but God's answer is real. God's answer is true. Whereas Claude, he can create whatever he likes. I'll leave you with that thought for the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on the Insiders Club tomorrow, where we'll discuss more about what we can't discuss in public. We'll see you there tomorrow. The link is in the description below and also in the bio. See you there. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Global tensions are rising, markets are unstable, and currencies keep losing value. While governments print more money, smart investors are moving into physical gold and silver, assets that have protected wealth for centuries. That's why more people are turning to Charlie's Gold to secure their future before the next financial shakeup hits. Don't leave your wealth exposed. Own something real. Own gold and silver. Visit charlies.gold today.